Sure. So look, in terms of where we've seen prices go so far, we've really seen it track from that €30 per megawatt hour. This is European gas futures to about 45 euros per megawatt hour. And really this zigzagging that we've seen happen since August 9 really reflects this pricing of what's exactly happening with these strikes in Western Australia. Now, Woodside managed to find an agreement with North West Shelf last week. And so now we're looking at whether Chevron can achieve the same with its Gorgon and Wheatstone LNG export facilities. Now, this is around, in our estimate, about 7% of global LNG trade. And that's really what the market is trying to price in terms of their concern and trying to look at Europe to see whether we'll see some kind of agreement. Now, Europe is very much more leveraged to what's happening in LNG markets than we've seen historically. To talk about the impact of the Ukraine war, they are now reliant on LNG for about 40 to 45% of their gas needs, relative to 20% before the Ukraine war. So what happens here has massive ramifications in Europe, but so far we have seen this whipsawing effect as markets first think that, okay, there's going to be a shortfall, and then they get to the point of being like, no, things will be okay. And so this is kind of the volatility that we expect to exist, at least until we see some deal or some closure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, worst case scenario, to see how those supply dynamics shape up. But of course, not helping the situation, as we've just mentioned, is also that hurricane barreling towards Florida. Do you see much of an impact there in terms of the LNG in the market?
Look, so far we actually, like the trajectory of hurricane Ida here is actually not going to be something that's going to hit any major LNG export terminal from the US. Now, that's really critical because when we talk about US LNG exports, we're talking 22% of global LNG exports last year. So it's a significant chunk. But so far, we haven't seen that. But keep in mind that US hurricane season peaks in about mid-September and extends all the way till mid-October. So it is something to watch, but not something that we think is relevant just right now.